Hi everyone, Emery from PDMG here. I'm going to be talking with you all today about how to sell your Amazon business and transfer the hands of your Amazon account and what that might look like. So let's say your business is being bought by another party in the near future. You will need to sell your Amazon business to that party and transfer the hands of your Amazon account. And there's many different reasons why this could happen. Selling your Amazon business might be part of a larger sale for the entire company. So just make sure that you have a plan in place for your Amazon transfer and make sure all appropriate parties are aware of the plan. Transferring the hands of your Amazon business once the official sale happens involves just making changes to the pertinent info in your Amazon Seller Central account. So here's a list of all the information that needs to change, and we do recommend that you provide your buyer with a list of this info that's needing to change so that they can be prepared and have all this information ready to go. So, you can see you've got the admin username and password, email addresses, credit card, payment settings, all these important things. Your seller profile information, which is like your display name and storefront link. If a new company is buying you, then all that information is going to be different. Pertinent business info, so your legal entity, your merchant token, all these things listed here are going to need to change. Okay, so let's talk about some tips for success when you are selling your business and transferring the hands of your account. So ideally, the actual sale of the business should happen first, and then the Amazon account should be transferred. And like I mentioned above, transferring the hands of your Amazon account requires important information to be changed in your settings. So before you just go to do this, make sure that you have all of your information, all these notes listed up here above, have that information ready to go. And also make sure that the appropriate people have the info on hand that's going to need to be changed so that there's no delay when it's actually time to make that switch. You don't want people scrambling at the last minute. And you can take your time and make the changes in stages. You can change the one piece and then make sure it looks good, go back and then change another piece. Of course, you don't want your account to get put on hold or suspended during the transfer because you made a bunch of changes at once. Always a good idea to keep an open line of communication between the seller and the buyer so that everybody's up to speed and on the same page at all times. You can always communicate with Amazon and let them know that there's a change happening. It's always better to get somebody on the phone and create a case as opposed to an email, but Amazon will tell you that accounts can't technically be transferred, but what you can do is discuss updating the account information, which is essentially what you're doing. Changing the hands of your Amazon account can be more complicated if you sell in other countries outside the United States. So just be sure that the buyer has what they need, the appropriate documentation to sell in those countries before the change happens and there's not a stall down the road. It's also a good idea to give your buyer an idea of what your current inventory levels are for the account so that they can continue to restock and sell units while the change is happening. If necessary, if you're brand registered, that will need to be redone again once you have that new business information in there. So you'll need to redo the application. Okay, so let's talk about where to start. When you go to change all this information, I think a good place to start is with your primary account email address, bank account information, credit card info, and EIN. The current master account user, which would be you, the seller, will likely have the permissions to some of these pages. So what we like to recommend is doing a screen share between the master account user and the buyer that's taking over. And then the master account user can start making those changes. Once the buyer has control and the email and the vital information has been switched, the buyer can go back later and update any other information that needs changing. Okay, so to update your email address, the instructions are here. You just have to fill out this email change form in your settings. Really important to keep in mind, if you have two-step verification enabled on your account, a security code will be needed to change this information. And security codes typically expire. They might get texted or emailed to the current user on file, which would be you, the seller. So what we recommend is that whoever's phone numbers and emails are on file, be on hand to provide that security code when necessary. And again, this is another good reason to set up a screen share with everybody involved. You can also click right here for more information on two-step verification. Okay, so to update your bank account information, you'll be under account info and deposit methods, and then you'll just click replace deposit method. It might take a couple business days for this information to update, but you can confirm the update just by watching the View Deposit Methods page in Seller Central. You can also click here for more information on bank accounts. Once you change the actual bank account, then you can continue to change other banking pieces that are needed. To update your credit card information, you'll go to your account info and settings, and you're going to want to select charge methods and then replace charge method. Make sure you select the appropriate marketplace and then click add a new card. Just note here that Amazon doesn't allow you to delete a card if it is the current charge method. You can't just have nothing in there. So that's why you have to go through the steps to replace and then add new. To update your EIN, you will go to your account info and tax information, update the tax information. This next step is crucial. You must retake the tax interview with Amazon at that time. So you'll just answer all the questions that are provided and then provide your e-signature for faster processing. And there's an FAQ page linked right here that you can reference as you go to do this. If you try to just simply ask Amazon in a case to change the EIN, you will likely get an error message, and then you'll be re-prompted to take the tax interview again. So you might as well just go on and do it again from the start. Once you have changed these 4 components and confirmed that the update was successful, you can continue to change the rest of the components above. Again, we just recommend that everybody, the seller and the buyer, be on the same page and stay in constant contact when you're doing this to ensure a smooth transition. I will include some links down in the bottom here for you guys, link to our blog on our website and links to our LinkedIn page if you want to check those out, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.